Howdy folks, let's take a look at the Katydid HV laser driller. This is a new workshop item and it has 6 laser drills here, as you can see, and that is the max allowed for this. And you also have a drill turret for the finer work, or if you happen to get stuck, you can get in there and work the sides of it and to make room. And this also is armed with 2 of the miniguns, the fixed miniguns, and also 2 of the minigun turrets, so that you can go right up to a deposit. You don't have to get out of your ship to shoot down any drones that are in your way and that sort of thing. This is more of a luxury vehicle since it's already level 20. There was little point, I didn't want to make a small minimalist type of vehicle, and so as you can see here, there's quite a bit of blocks and everything, and it's a little more on the expensive side than my usual builds. Now I also made this wide for stability and also just to make it look better with the spread out drills. So those make a huge hole, which is really nice, and so that's the idea behind these big spread out drills. Now the other thing it has here, as you saw, is it has an oxygen dispenser right behind the cockpit, so when you get out of the cockpit you can stand there and get your oxygen if you need to. And it also has, in the control panel, there are switches for the drill turret, so you can turn that off to save power. As you see here, it uses quite a bit more power with it switched on. And there's also an extra power which turns off. I'll show you here. It turns off the extra thrusters, so it turns off 2 of the side thrusters and 6 of the front thrusters. So the front thrusters, there's actually 10 of them on there for when you're backing out of a hole that you've drilled. So that's where you need the massive amount of power. So those are on there for that. And the front hovers can also be turned off, which will tilt the ship forward, as you see there. And so that lets you drill right into the ground, nice and easy. And it helps you tilt a little bit better. And so when this thing drills, what you want to do is you will want to kind of wiggle back and forth like this as you're going in, and it will widen your tunnel a little bit. And you can even turn these front hovers back on if you want to. But we'll get a little tunnel here going. I'll show you how this digs. And so because of the style and everything, it is actually a little bit wider than is ideal for drilling tunnels. It does have the potential to to get stuck if you drill a perfectly straight line. You can get the legs stuck in the tunnel here, and so that's why I'm wiggling back and forth here. And if you do happen to get stuck in your tunnel when you're drilling, you can do the same thing. You can wiggle your way to get back out. And worst case scenario is you can go into your drill turret here and you can use that to drill your way, to get the extra stuff out of your way. And in the control panel, what I also put was I also grouped all of the storage and the crafting stuff together. And so here is what we have as far as equipment. We have 5 cargo boxes, we have 2 harvest boxes for extra space, we do have a fridge and a mobile constructor in case you want one, and there are also 2 ammo boxes to hold your ammo. Now if you look in here, if we go inside the fuselage, this is where all of your equipment is, and as you see, there's quite a bit of extra space. There is over here, if I can get to it, there we go. There is room, there's 2 1x2 spaces, so there's room for 2 more large cargo boxes there, and there's also room for up to 5 more of the mobile constructors. So there's 3 wide spaces. And as you see here, I did use the thin blocks on the sides and the bottom, and where I could, basically on these diagonals too. I use the thin blocks in order to minimize the amount of mass so that this thing is not so slow and weighed down. But as you see, it is fairly easy to handle. It goes over terrain pretty well. It doesn't go through forests. I will give it that. It does not do forests very well, and its other major weakness here is the boost. It does not go super high. That's as high as a ship of this mass can go, because as you see here, it is 37 tons. It's quite a large hovercraft, but it is still a very powerful and very useful drilling machine. As you see here, you can pretty much drill out a decent sized, like the 800 sized deposits just by going in a straight line right through it, and you pretty much hit the whole deposit doing that. So it is very handy, it is very quick for drilling, and it's great for also drilling tunnels. So that is the Katydid. And I also wanted to mention, as usual, this is released under the Creative Commons 4.0 license, the share alike license. You're welcome to make your own modifications and publish them and all that on the workshop. I'd love to hear about them, and let me know if you do, just because I'd love to see what other people do with this kind of design. But yeah, you are free to use and republish and all that. So that is the Katydid, and enjoy!